Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. I'm going to do something different from what it's going to sound like when I begin this hour. So be aware of that. We've talked on this program about the alleged affair going on between Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Derek Lowe and Fox Sports Net reporter Carolyn Hughes. We talked on this program to the wife of Derek Lowe, Trinka, about their 3 kids and what they're all going through. And a number of you in writing to us about this story have made a very good point here. And it doesn't necessarily relate just to this story. It just is a general truth. Derek Lowe met his wife back when he was nobody. Nobody. Back when he made no money, practically. Back when L.A. was 3,000 miles away. And what I have said about men, all men, not any one man, but all men, is that all men pick somebody to be with who is the best they can do at the time they do the picking. They do as well as they can do for the time being. But with men, you have to be prepared that if they win the lottery, cure cancer, get a big inheritance, find a satchel with $200 million on the street, or get a big league contract, that chances are they're going to trade up to a younger, hotter model. The term trophy wife didn't come from nowhere. And, again, these stories in the Lowe and Hughes case are allegations. We weren't there. We can never know for sure what went on between these two unless they tell us. But the allegations certainly speak to a truth that we've discussed on the air many times. In the Derek Lowe story, you have a man who met his wife when he was a nobody. This past winter, signed a $7 million a year contract to pitch for the Dodgers. He comes to Los Angeles. And suddenly he is in the epicenter for hot pieces of ass. Now, you decide for yourself what you think he did. But in general, I would say that, ladies, much as you will call up and deny this, and much as you will call up and say, I'm wrong, crazy, wrong. You don't know about the other girls out there, but you have the one and only true love in the world, and your husband would never do anything like that. I'm telling you, your husband chose you because you were the best he could do. The best he could afford. He couldn't do any better than you at that time. But if somehow he suddenly became far more prosperous, suddenly he had far more money, if he suddenly got a television show. And by the way, that sounded like a pipe dream at one time, but with reality television, anybody could become a television star next year. Anybody. And if your husband suddenly won Survivor, or was suddenly on Big Brother, or suddenly became famous for some other reason, made big money, chances are he'd dump your sorry ass and get somebody younger and hotter. That is generally what happens. There are a couple of really sad factors in life. One, every woman who says, oh, I have plenty of male friends. The male friends are all chosen according to which men that she is not attracted to. That's the list of male friends. Pick any woman you know with a lot of male friends. These are all the guys who would like to get into her pants that she has no interest in having sex with. So these are all friendships based on false pretenses. I mean, it's a pretense that these guys hang around hoping to get a shot at the big clam. And if they don't get a shot at it, some of them don't know how to close the deal. They'll still continue to moon after a woman long after it's pretty clear that she has no interest. Oh, he's my friend. And the same thing, I'm sorry to say, is true for most wives out there. Wives and girlfriends. Ladies, you're the best he can do at this time. Many of you are with a man right now, making him coffee, helping him stay up to study for final exams, helping him through the bar exam, being supportive, making him dinner, whatever. Sure, you're kind of puffy or chunky or kind of unattractive, but you're so loyal and wonderful, and the parents love you very, very much. Well, the minute he has the word doctor before his name or esquire after his name, the minute he makes real money, he'll probably move on to somebody befitting his new status. And you will get you onto the side. Again, I don't know what Derek Lowe did or didn't do with Carolyn Hughes, but one thing I will tell you is that Derek Lowe makes more money than he's ever made before. Derek Lowe now lives in the Los Angeles area, home of the hottest women in North America. And no matter what he did or didn't do, he certainly is in a position to trade up. No doubt about it. And I do believe that's what happens in many of these situations. Ladies, imagine this, okay? There you are. You're married, you have a kid, whatever, and you've got that husband of yours who you tell everybody you love, love, love. Just imagine if he won the lottery, how fast he'd dump your ass. Just imagine if he somehow got a movie role or somehow got the big TV gig or something. You'd be left behind in a cloud of dust. We see it happen all the time. So whether it be women who pick their male friends according to what guys they find unattractive, or whether it be guys who choose wives that are the best they can do at a given time. By the way, we've all done this. At a particular time in your life, you pick somebody who wasn't as hot as you would have liked, wasn't as young as you would have liked. You didn't have the right color hair, the right size breasts, or she was a little chunkier than you like, whatever, because you thought you couldn't do any better. And then suddenly you got a better job, you're driving a better car, you got a promotion, you got more self-confidence, something happened. And suddenly Miss Chunkola was, unceremoniously dumped in favor of somebody younger, slimmer, hotter. So imagine that. Life is like a big game of musical chairs. We just kind of sit down next to whoever it works with right now. But later on, they start playing the music again. When it stops, we may be sitting next to somebody else. It's pretty much the way it works, isn't it?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
That's a good slogan for our show. Better than a fatal accident.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Antoinette on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Antoinette.
How's it going? First-time caller?
Thank you.
Okay, I really have a comment to make. I've been cheated on, but more the comment is, what makes her so special? As I listened to her voice yesterday, I thought, what a whiny bitch. What makes her so special? Because she's not the first celebrity wife that's been cheated on. Look at Jordan's wife. They all turn the other cheek. And I've been cheated on. My husband was in the Navy, still is. He cheated on me. And what makes her so special?
So should women turn the other cheek, period?
I'll tell you like this. If I were Vanessa, Kobe's wife, I wouldn't have left either. I just would have chalked it up as, you know what? that's what they do. What about all the cheating that they did that they'll never know about? It's a fact. Accept it. You've got the money.
Is that any man or just athletes?
I mean, I think that's any man. I mean, how long my husband cheated? Who knows? He was in the Navy. They leave for 6 months. Do you really think that they 6 months? I don't think so.
What is the point of being married if you accept that?
There really isn't a point, but I mean, I just think nowadays marriage is very overrated.
So why do it?
You know, you're absolutely right. I wish I'd listened to you. I wish I'd listened to you years ago. I got married when I was 21, popped out 3 kids. After I had all the kids, I've gotten lipo. I got a boob job. And, you know, ever since I got the surgery, he's begging to come back, you know. It's like I wasn't a hag before. It's just I improved the boobs. Who wants some sagging boobs, you know? I really think that what makes her so special, bottom line, I mean, you shouldn't get married. If you can find a partner that gives you mutual respect and you guys have an understanding, just live together.
Why even live together? Why do you even need a partner?
Because everybody...
No, you can get laid without living with someone.
That's true, but didn't you hear the... Well, you're not going to comment, but I'm sure all the other listeners heard the whininess in her voice. I mean, she's sitting there so pathetic. Oh, I want to make the family work. Who doesn't? And, I mean, even I could attest. I was at that point asking him, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And I had to get control of myself. I thought, you know what? It's not me. He's the one that can't keep it in his pants. He's the one that doesn't want the family, so... Move on. I get a chunk of child support.
But you did move on. You got a divorce.
I have moved on. I'm not dating anyone else. I go out with friends and guys try to pick me up all the time of different races. But you know, the thing is, it's just I've mentally moved on. It was a control thing. Being with the same person all those years, it's hard. It's hard to get used to somebody else, get used to some new goods. But you know, I have custody of the kids. It's the money. I get a good chunk of money from them, and I have a good job. I just think that the next person, I'm never going to get married again, ever.
Hang on a second, Antoinette. Liz, what did you want to say to Antoinette?
Antoinette, get a grip, girl. I mean, being married to no matter who you're married to, it is not okay for the guy to cheat, so you must have a really low self-esteem.
No, I don't have a low self-esteem.
Yeah, you do. Turn the other cheek, my ass.
That every man, there's such a small percentage, Liz, of faithful men out there.
Well, I guess you've hooked up with the wrong
You're right. I don't want to...
So maybe that says something about you and not about her.
No, it doesn't say anything about myself. I don't want to throw the race card in here, but I feel that a lot of my friends, which happen to be African-American, I'm a mulatto myself, but a lot of African-American men have just a bad history of cheating, you know? They do. Maybe I was with the wrong guy. You're right, but you know what? I'm not blaming society for it. You move on. Like I said, if you were listening, I'll try a different race next time.
Jennifer Aniston is not African-American. She's white, and her husband was an African-American. And no, she isn't the first one. And, yeah, she has every right to be pissed off.
Okay, but, I mean, you're looking at it again from a celebrity point of view. What makes her so damn special? What makes, you're not looking at the facts, the cold, hard facts. So what, Jude Law, he just cheated on Sienna Miller. It seems to be a guy thing, not a celebrity thing. So it doesn't matter who you are or what status you have, they just can't seem to keep it in their pants. I don't know why you don't agree to that. Why don't you agree to that?
Well, she's gone now, Antoinette, so we'll move on, but I thank you for the call, 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
So I used to work in sports, in professional sports, in front office position. And I got to tell you, this stuff happens all the time. It's not a big deal. These guys love to do, I mean, guys in general might want to do it, but I'm just talking specifically pro athletes. This is second nature. They have a girl, their real girl, then they got their wife, then they got this kind of girl, then they have their girlfriend, and they have, whores around the different leagues, and then they just go from women to women. It's easy. I mean, these girls jump on them. These guys don't have to look for it. They don't have to look for it at all. I've gone out with players. I've gone out with guys, and there'd be all of a sudden 10 chicks surrounding them. Bam. Like flies on you-know-what.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works. They don't have to work for it. It's just, even if they don't want it, it's too tempting. There's beautiful, beautiful women all over the country just dying to say, oh, yeah, they had sex with Derek Jeter or had sex with this guy or that guy. That's how it works.
Yeah. That's right.
They absolutely do not have to, even if they don't want it. They could be the best guy in the world. As soon as they get that contract, bam. You could be a minor leaguer. You could be a guy making, chump change in the minor leagues and single A ball and God knows where, Iowa. But you know what? You go to you're on the road, you have a girl or a wife back home, and you go to a bar after a game. A girl sees you, you tell them you're a ball player. You could do whatever you want with that girl for the whole 3-game series. That's how it works, man. So it's not a big deal. It's nothing to these guys.
Yeah, well, there seems to be an investment aspect here. I do believe that women who hook up with minor leaguers are making an investment in the future, but there's no guarantee these guys will be successful. And these guys get married because there's no guarantee they'll become successful. And then when they do, they just simply trade up.
Oh, yeah, these women, I was at a situation one time, I was in the minors at one point, and these guys, they're Dominican, right? So they don't even speak a lick of English. These chicks would hang around at the beginning of the season waiting for these guys to come on after the game. Next thing I know, I'm looking at them, a month into the season, they say they're getting married. The dude gets a green card, and she maybe has the next Sammy Sosa next to her for a little bit. Usually those guys end up getting cut or whatever, but hey, it's worth a shot, right?
That's right, exactly. Chris, thank you for the call, 1-800-5800-TOM. Jessica on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How's it going?
I'm okay.
In response to what that woman was saying, I just want to let, this is just my opinion, I really don't think it's your fault, honey. I think men like to have sex, men like to reproduce. They're not picky about who they have sex with at all. Men are not picky. As long as you're, attractive and willing, men aren't, really going to turn you down. Women are very picky about who they have sex with, and so that's why when they notice men not being picky, the women think that's kind of strange. But, men and women are just built in different ways. And I think
because men are looking for a place to take a whiz. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
And any woman who gets married to a man needs to realize that. And I don't, that's it. I mean, that's why I date men who are one little step below me.
Ladies, you're just a human fire hydrant. That's what you are.
I don't understand what you just said, but okay.
Well, you know what dogs do when they're next to the fire hydrant.
Oh, well, but honestly, that's how most men think, and that's why 98% of men I'm not attracted to. And I've dealt with that, and I continue to deal with that. But the fact of the matter is, if a guy's part of that 2%, I'll give him a shot. If not, he's just like that other 90%. I
think the other 2% are good actors.
Maybe one of the two. Maybe it's even less than 2.
Thank you, Jessica.
All right, bye-bye.
Appreciate the call. Andrew on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Okay.
Caller, long-time listener. I love your show. Just wanted to share a little pearl of advice with the rest of your audience. I'm a law student, and I work for a lawyer, and he always tells me the girlfriend of the student is never the wife of the professional. And I keep that advice in my mind every day. You said people make an investment, girls make an investment in a minor league ball player. I'm making an investment in myself. I'm going to law school, not so some girl can attach herself to me while I'm a student, but so I can find some nice piece of A after I'm done. And that's the way life should work.
Well, but it really boils down to everybody making investments in the future. That's what it's all about.
I agree with you completely. And, I would never be stupid enough to let myself get attached to any girl right now. I'm 23. I'm going to be done with law school soon. I'm going to make a hell of a lot of money. And I don't want to be tied down by anybody.
I don't blame you, pal. Thank you for the call. Brandy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Brandy.
I just want to say that I feel sorry for all the men out there that are being portrayed as these wild animals that have nothing better to do than get laid. Women are calling in, men are calling in and just saying that that's all they can do with themselves. They can't control themselves. It's this natural urge that they can't control, and they're not horses. They're not wild animals in heat. I mean, they do have better things to do with themselves. And I feel sorry for the women.
Actually, though, I do believe as a man, I'm speaking as a man now, I believe that most men, especially when they're younger, Their whole day, their whole life revolves around getting laid, including where they go on vacation, where they go out to eat or drink, where they have an apartment, how much money they make or aspire to make has to do with how hot a chick these guys think they can get.
Well, that might be true, but they're also able to control that urge. It's not something that they can't keep under. It is something that they can control. It's not this wild animal instinct that they have no control over.
That's like most Americans controlling their desire to eat a lot.
Exactly.
You know, they can control it, but they don't.
Well, I think that there's been a wild assumption made that all men or most men are that way, and I feel sorry for the women that are willing to accept that, because I just think that if that's what you're willing to settle for, then you're really in trouble in the long run.
Well, that is really why most people shouldn't be married, because that is mostly what's out there.
That's really a sad state of the world.
We're just being honest about it for once. That's really the way it is.
But if that's what people are willing to settle for, they're willing to settle to be in a relationship. Oh, yeah, he's going to cheat. Oh, well, that's just the way.
Well, some of them want to marry somebody who makes $7 million a year or $20 million a year or $500,000 a year.
That's just sad that that's how people feel and think right now, I guess.
I don't think it's right now. I think it's always been the case.
Okay. I just hate to disagree with you because I just don't see it as being this animal instinct that they have.
Hang on a second, Brandy, because here's what I want to do. I want to bring somebody else on. I want you to listen to what he has to say. He's not going to argue with you. He has his own opinion. And then you can question him. All right, hang on. Ken, Brandy's on the line. Tell us what you were going to say.
Well, pretty much. I'm 28, and I've been married for about 2 years, and I just wanted to say that I totally agree with what you were saying about moving up. The woman I got now, I probably would never have gotten before, and before I got into my career, I pretty much got what I can get.
What do you think, Brandy?
It just appalls me that that's how people think of themselves, that they had to have a career and they had to be this and they had to be that. I'm 30 years old. I've been married 10 years, and my husband, I would never even deal with anything like that. He's just not that kind of person. I guess he's an unusual male in my life, but Well, he's not going to come.
He's not going to come right out and tell you, hey, you know, you're the best that I can have right now. I mean, that's it. You're the best that he can get right now. You're just there. And then obviously, if he goes out tomorrow, like Tom says, and wins the lottery, I don't think you're going to be there the next day. You're not. That's just how it works.
So, do you think your wife thinks the same about you? That if something better comes along, you're gone? Is that how you think she sees it?
Women generally deteriorate in value over the years, like a car.
Oh, my God. You guys are insane.
Men generally increase in value as they get promoted in their jobs. They have more money or power, more success as time goes on. And women have more wrinkles, more crow's feet, more blue veins, more varicose veins.
Oh, my gosh. I think you guys started drinking way too early today.
So a man's value generally goes up as time goes on, and a woman's value generally goes down.
Oh, my God.
Did you know that, Brandy?
Sound like she left.
I think so.
I don't think she can handle the truth. Hey, Tom, I just wanted to tell you that. Also tell you, you know that girl a couple calls ago that was talking about turning the other cheek?
Yeah.
You know, she pretty much, during her conversation, she pretty much, you know, said exactly what you keep telling us. I mean, all she cared about was the money.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, she pretty much...
Even now, she's getting that big child support check. She's very happy.
Exactly. And she even said right then, she said, I'm never going to get married. Well, you know why? Because she's down in California. As long as she don't get married, she's going to keep getting that child support check. Keep getting the alimony.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You say you should get laid for free. There's no such a thing.
Oh, I see. So you're a whore.
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show. It's Griffin. Hello.
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 Father Tom, how are you, sir?
Doing okay, Griffin.
I would like to make a comment on men's stock going up as we get older and women's stock going down as they get older.
Yes.
When I was younger, I'm 35 now, I dated older girls because it was easy. I didn't have to spend a lot of money. And now that I'm 35, successful, I got 21, 22-year-old girls running all over the place.
You can date those women's daughters now.
My stock is soaring right now.
Uh-huh.
And it is awesome. And it is so true, yeah. That unfortunately, women, they break down like cars. You know, you gotta refurb them, recondition them, boobies, nose jobs, all that good stuff. But not us.
Yeah, well, by the way, when you're 40, you'll still be dating the 21-year-olds who are currently 16.
It's amazing. I figure my trophy bride is graduating junior high right about now.
That's exactly right. If that.
Yes. Tommy, you know, if you can't be good at it.
I think you're right about that, Griff. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Miguel on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Is that a question or a statement, Miguel?
I actually had like a comment to make in reference to a caller you had a few calls ago named Jessica.
Uh-huh.
Talking about how all guys just basically want to have sex with every girl they meet and find.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, some guys are like that, yeah, but girls are hoes just as much as guys. Let's be real. Girls open their legs for damn near anybody. It's not just guys trying to get up in girls. You know?
Well, the difference is more often than not there's some cashola, there's some money, power, or fame attached to that willingness. You know, every woman who says, I don't do that on the first date. Oh, yes, you do. And the first date is, you know, Bono or, you know, any Major League Baseball player. Sure you do.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how females are. They want to just blame everything on the guy.
That's right.
And it doesn't work like that. Maybe they're just not doing their job or duty.
You might be right about that. Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
I just wanted to comment about this whole situation. Guys that out there cheating, they're not cheating with their hands. You know, it takes two to tango. That's an old scenario, but that's the way it is, man. If these women had any sisterhood between themselves, all this wouldn't be going on.
Well, there is no sisterhood. Women hate each other.
Oh, my goodness.
Women are competitive with each other. Women hate themselves.
They're haters, especially these high-profile guys. You know this guy's married, and they know where to meet him at. It's just like I was telling my buddy Scott the other day. The NBA has a draft. There's a section of hoes that's sitting there watching that draft. They're looking for the next group of millionaires that's coming into the world. They know where to meet these guys. They see you at the bar. They know your whole history. They're buying you drinks.
Absolutely true.
Just to get in your pocketbook. So if they had any sisterhood between themselves, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, well,
buddy, I went to school 5 years with this guy. He was so wrapped up with his girlfriend, they made you sick. Kissing at stoplights, kissing. He got drafted in the first round of the NBA. He left her standing at the altar. They were supposed to get married when we graduated. He left her at the altar. Your bank account dictates how you upgrade your stuff.
That is certainly true, Mike. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Sean on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, what's going on, man?
Not much, Sean.
You're a pimp. I just want Seattle all feels that way.
Thank you.
Hey, I don't know what the deal is with all these people all upset about cheating, man. It's been going on since the dawn of time. And there's nothing you can do about it, you know, except just get over it and grow up, you know. If you don't want to be cheated on, you better not have a partner. That's just pure and simple facts. And today we're talking about guys that cheat, but like the last dude said there, girls are just as scandalous as men. They're just a little sneakier about it most of the time. And, you know, it's not that big a deal, man. As far as I'm concerned, just get over it, you know, grow up.
Why even have a relationship? They're based on a false premise. This idea of monogamy is a false premise for so many people.
You're exactly right. I'm in a relationship right now. I'm 31. My girlfriend's 21. She cheated on me, you know. I was upset about it for a while, and then it just dawned on me, you know. Get over it, man. Get over yourself. You're not that special. You know, she ain't no different than anybody else. You know, I've cheated. She's cheated. And people that get all hung up on it and upset about it are so into themselves and so concerned about their feelings that they're basically retarded. You know what I mean?
Basically retarded. There we go. Words to live by. Alex on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, this is Alex. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good. You changed my life, like many other people in this world. But I just want to throw this out there. I think a lot of times also with cheating, I think the size of the guy's anatomy also plays a huge factor in cheating. Because I know a few girls who are in decent pursuit of a citizenship, and they have their hopeful rich boyfriend on one hand, and they're looking for the biggest guy that they can hook up with on the other side of the fence. But I do want to throw this up there. I think that most women are open to their legs are open to the guys who are the highest bidders also.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Most girls' legs are open to the highest bidder. They may have a nice guy that will give them consistent sex, but if they can't find a rich guy, they'll try to keep them both on the side as long as they can. As long as he's doing it right and she's getting paid, she's happy. I think they're just as much whores as men are.
There's so much cynicism right now in this program, and I'm not saying I blame y'all. Brandy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
First-time caller, long-time listener.
Yes.
I'm calling because I have a comment about all these women who keep calling and throw around this word cheating. I just love this word cheating so much. I've been in a relationship for 3 years now, and I don't think that it's right for women to say that it's so wrong for their man to cheat and everything like that. I wouldn't think that my boyfriend was human if he didn't want to be with somebody else. Nor, and it's not
But wanting to be with somebody else and being with somebody else, two different things. So your boyfriend has your permission to go out and have sex with other women?
Dude, I'm serious. He can go out and he can be with other women. I don't care. It's wrong for me to try to put him on that kind of a leash. And I'm sorry, I'm 100% against marriage.
So
because
do you do other guys too?
Yeah.
You do?
That's right. I mean,
why do you need a boyfriend? What's the point? Just live it up.
No, it's not even like that. I've got him for emotional support, and he's got me for emotional support.
You could be there for emotional support without him being your boyfriend.
No, well,
I've got lots of friends who give me emotional support. I'm not having a relationship with them.
Yeah, and that's true, and I see how that works and everything, but I'm not going to throw around the word cheating if my boyfriend comes to me and says that he's been with somebody else. Okay, big deal. What else am I going to say? Big deal. Okay, you still love me? You still want to be with me? Fine. Okay, whatever. I'm not, going to put a big leash around his neck and what are all these women doing to keep their men around?
That's a whole other question. The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Linda. Linda does not know she's on the air.
Oh, Linda's on the air. I didn't even know that I was on.
I know. I just said that.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
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 Hello.
Your time is up.
You reached the 3 hello limit on the Tom Leykis Show. This is Brian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Brian.
Tom, I have a story for you, and I know your boys are going to hate me for this. I am 21 years old. Had a girlfriend for a year. We started dating. Her and I, we met in class up at school. We met the same guy in one of our classes, so all three of us were friends. Her and I start dating. Everything's going good until she tells me, hey, everything's going great, but I need someone else to talk to, I'm going to go have coffee with this guy, right? So she goes out. I'm like, okay, this is all right. You can go do that. So she goes out, they do it a couple times, have coffee, just talk about whatever. He's a pretty smart kid, I have him in class. Tom, we break up, guess who she's with?
Of course.
I don't think that you talk about that enough.
Pal, I tell you, under 25, you should not have a girlfriend.
Oh, I know that.
But you paid no attention to that. You went right ahead and did it anyway.
Dad, you're totally correct. And you know what? All you guys, I'm serious, under 25, Tom, you're totally correct. Not doing it anymore. Not worth it. Just too young, too many mistakes. And you know what? I'm kind of glad it happened.
So am I, pal. I'll tell you what. So am I.
The Tom Leykis Show.